Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode, another week in the IIRL Racing League. This week, we are back with our realistic tier. It is round 4 in Australia, and I am joined by the same person as last week in Tacit. Say hello, my friend.
Good evening. I can hear myself and I have a loud voice this evening.
He has got the energy and we will bring it to you today. We've got 15 drivers tonight. We have a short quali, which the drivers will not be hoping for rain. I will do the rain dance. We have no rain at the moment. Good stuff. So
It's an
we will be
improvement.
looking forward to it. It is improvement compared to last week, in which we had a wet Silverstone qualifying in the. It was it was the first round of the realistic tier. It was very entertaining race. Of course, our reigning championship leader from open tier, Björn, won the race in the Sauber. He is back in the Sauber alongside the four-time NA champion. I don't think we have to sweat it, do we?
Yeah, you don't have to sweat it at all, to be honest.
But he is back alongside the four-time NA champion John in the Sauber. Couple of new faces tonight. We have Rai. I think making his debut, or did he debut last week? I can't
I
remember.
think it is his debut today in
We
this tier.
have It's his first race in this tier.
Yeah.
We have my AT teammate Rich Energy, or is he IIRL Energy now? In the Alpine alongside full of Striker, who's making his debut. And then we have Deaton making his realistic tier debut in the McLaren, and that is it. I think we they haven't had many car switches, but who is first on the lap? That is
First,
Wuta.
moved to first car on track in God's test server. As Killian would
Um,
say.
do you
That's what
have
I'm
the
saying.
Twitch chat open?
I have
When
this. I have, yeah.
have you seen what has been put in?
Full wet race. Yeah, I'll definitely testing with this one.
So as your mate Ethan knows, he is usually my weatherman, but
Yeah, he's not
he is
here.
my weatherman, but he's not racing tonight, so we've had to resort to the others that are racing, and we have been told it is going to be a full wet race.
That is going to
So
be an interesting one. I'm looking
there
forward
are
to it.
we're looking forward to it, but that's going to make setups very interesting. Of course, Australia is very known for its low downforce. So how are these drivers going to change their setups to suit it for the race?
Probably, I mean, the best thing to do is, if it's going to be a full wet race, is just load up your full wet setups or just increase the wing by a few clicks. If it's not going to go to dry, you're best just running higher downforce the entire race. That's the best course of action.
Yeah, and like Deflated We has said in the chat as well, this is probably going to be one of the most important qualifyings. If any drivers invalidate here, it is going to be painful, and we'll probably expect to see some safety cars during the race as well. Of course, if you guys watched the NA race on Tuesday, we had one safety car caused by yours truly, because I decided not to turn for a line, but we were just setting a 26.9 in the first sector. Would you like to go through the second part of the lap with him, Tacit?
Yep. Alright, up to the chicane now. Trying to carry as much speed as possible without losing momentum. It should take as much of the cover as possible on exit. DRS very early. Start here. Ferrari moves out of the way, braking just after 100. Not taking the red curves despite how far they are. Small lift into this corner. Or get it down. Braking a car's length after the orange block. Just keep the steering angle, should be flat on this last corner. DRS open, last straight. Burn the rest of the ERS you've got. And we cross the line for a move to the edge 17.4 in the Mercedes car.
Which means next to the line is John, who goes 3/10 quicker than Wuta in the Sauber car.
The slower car as well.
Yeah, of course, realistic tier. Next up to line is a Max, and he goes fastest with a 17 flat, great lap. A Björn is up next, the current championship leader, and goes behind John. Wow. As first laps though, so anything is possible. Maybe running a bit different downforces, but Björn is behind John currently. That's mental. Alessio is up next. I believe he was in the Aston Martin last week.
He was Ethan's teammate last week. Alright, crosses the line. 16-6. Oh,
wow.
Beating
This is
the Mercedes engine counterpart.
And Energy goes 6th. He is one of our pad drivers. Shermanator goes P2. We do have a car in the gravel, which is Wuta. Looks like he was just getting out of the way of other cars, though. So nothing too special. Nico goes 2nd. Wow.
It's great to see a fellow pad driver setting a good lap time.
And Cod Camper goes P2. Full of Striker in on his first lap in IIRL goes P9 ahead of his teammate. And I believe that is it for first runs, except from the drivers currently on
We've got Rye, Padge on our lap currently.
Yeah, Deflated Wheat is just coming up to the chicane now. You see very nicely. Another bit of yellow flags, but that's just... I think that's just Rye letting through, or Shermanator letting through the sister cars.
From Padge's perspective, he almost had to stop on track.
Oof. Might be some little spiciness there in the steward's room later tonight. Of course, being one half of the steward report.
Deflated Wee 16.5.
And Killian goes P2.
Despite the
current
fact...
assist. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Go.
Nah, you carry on, my friend.
Despite the fact that he was incessantly complaining about how bad his car was.
Yeah, Killian in the practice lobby has been complaining about how much of a car, how much of a boat this Williams car is in realistic. But he is the current assist tier championship leader in the Williams itself, so him to be P2, a 10th behind Deflated Wheat is very, very good for him. We have Rye coming into the 3rd sector now in, his first run of the session. He's using the number 2, made famous by none other than Stoffel van Dorn, Class F1 driver. And Rye will cross the line P13 first run.
Oh dear. Most unfortunate.
Deton is just starting a run. Deton notoriously known for low wings. Will he be running them with the knowledge of a full wet race? We'll wait to see. But he is in the McLaren tonight, so Deton is probably the man to watch right now. As we pass over to Tasset.
Alright, Padge about in the last sector now. Down to 3rd gear. Oh, and he goes into the gravel. That's going to have to be a fail for the lap for Padge.
No, Padge.
Deton fastest first sector according to the game. At least according to the rest of the grid.
Yeah, it's fastest of people on track.
Yeah, fastest on track. Deton naturally setting the pace, but he's currently the fastest car. And will remain the fastest car, undoubtedly. Alright. Power down, just a small lift here. Or into full lift with Deton. Down to 2nd gear, 3rd gear actually. Power down. Well, what will Deton set as his first lap time? Up to the line.
P13.
17.6, narrowly off Rich Energy, P12.
So we've had our first runs. Alessio is now starting his second run. Of course, drivers will have 4 sets of tyres they can use. They should probably only be using 3 because you probably want to save a set of mediums for the race. Most what's it? Most I forgot what the word. Most strategies. That's the one. We'll probably use a medium hard one
Hey,
stop.
Rids. Welcome to the chat.
Good evening, Rids. I hope you're doing very well, my friend. Back in with the realistic tier tonight. So we're on board with Alessio. Alessio was a podium sitter last week, if I remember correctly.
I believe so, yeah.
Rids, it's definitely warm, to say the least. Been sweltering all day, and my choice of clothing is black, so I make that mistake. Alessio on the run to the line now. We got yellows, which is just a Ferrari letting drivers through. Nothing too serious there. Alessio goes fastest with a 16.4. Great lap. Good evening, Goldilocks. Hope you're doing very well, my friend.
Alessio setting the pace right now.
There's a great lap from Alessio there.
Yeah.
I was going to say Acelio, but you know. As next driver to finish run, we've got a plethora of drivers. Cod has invalidated his run, so unfortunate for him. But then we have, I believe it is going to be a plethora of guys on runs. I think it's Wu. It's not. It's Björn. We'll follow on board with Björn, the championship leader. Plays it a bit safe on the curbing on the outside, but I think he's just trying to see if he can improve. As I'm not sure where the second sector split is, but I think he might have passed it already, so it doesn't matter. Oh, he's backed out of his run. Meaning up next, I believe, is Energy. Go on, my teammate.
Well, the Energy is about to cross the line. DRS open, power down. Killian with a 16.
Killian goes fastest. And Energy will go P11 ahead of his teammate. And John goes P4 with a 16.7. Great stuff there from the Sauber driver.
When will Padge set a lap? What's the way to
Padge likes to start at the back, so I would not be shocked if he wants to be there, just to stay out of trouble. But Nico goes P2. Amazing stuff there. Goes P2, half a... Is that 7/100ths off Killian? D1 is starting a run now.
We're under a 10.
That means Full of Striker is going to be next across the line to finish a run. As Full of Striker pulls into the pits, can't see how long's left in the session, but probably means that there is not much time left. Shermanator's in the grass. Everyone's coming in now. Don't think anyone is on a run.
Beaton, 2:10s behind on his current lap time. It invalidates the chicane.
No, Dayton! No! As we got 4 minutes left of the session. I'll probably do a bit of waiting for a little bit, but Cod Camper, Rye, and Wheaton and Padge are all on outlaps currently, with deflated wheat on an inlap. And the first driver to start a run will be Rye. see what he can do. Coming into turn 1, he does use a lot of his battery, but
not as much as the curve as you'd want to use.
I mean, kind of just have to play it safe. He hasn't done a representative time yet. Goes a bit deep into 3.
They're pushing the track limits on the exit turn 3, as you should.
Watch a bit of his onboard. Not sure if he's a pad player or a wheel player, but as it turns out, he's not got any battery left for the 3rd sector, which is very, very dangerous.
Plenty of deployment, but not enough ERS I'm seeing here.
He definitely burnt it all in the 1st sector. Almost invalidates there.
Locks up into this corner.
I'm surprised that right-hander hasn't caught out more drivers.
Just enough to get to the line here. 17.9 for Rye.
He makes it in the 17s, and Padge comes into the pit. As he gets caught out by his teammate in the pit lane, Nico coming out of the pits is going to cost Padge the chance of another run here, as everyone else is on outlaps, but Cod Camper is currently on what will be his final run. He will not have time for another one, unless he makes it all the way round, but you know.
Alright, up to the line. Where will he be? P1
goes fastest.
7/10 improvement to P1. Provisional pole.
Wow. Wow. It's a great lap from Cod there. And Björn is currently on a lap coming through the 2nd sector. I believe he is the only one on a representative lap time currently.
A 10th up in the sector 2.
But that will only put him up to P6 as it currently stands, just ahead of John. And into the final corner now. Onto the power, foot to the floor. Harry Benjamin, have yourself. And he goes P6 ahead of his teammate by 200. As he goes straight on. That's funny.
Right, John now. Oh,
Björn has been disqualified for driving the wrong way, which means he'll be starting from the back of the grid.
Alongside Padge.
He'll be starting alongside Padge. Oh, that was funny. I caught that. I caught that entire thing.
Really pushing track limits into this chicane for John.
Oh, and checkered flag is out now. No, that's not. Wouter comes to the line and crosses the line P6. Alessio goes up to P2. Great lap.
Now,
Energy up next.
Off. That 10,000. Alright, John up to the line after Energy. It's a 17-2 for Energy. John up to the line, the 4-time champion.
Not improving. Oh, he goes up to P6.
5. Alright, who's up next? That's Striker.
He's 2/10 up.
Right, the flag falls during qualifying. A few drivers left on their runs. Majority of the grid, actually.
Striker to the line now. P9 ahead of Max.
16.9.
Deflated wing P1!
Provisional pole for the RB driver.
As Killian's up next. Killian to the line now. Killian P4. Deton's up next. He's 2/10 up.
Deton to the line.
Deton P11. Shermanator.
P6
for Shermanator. Nico is last, but he's invalidated. No! Nico! So Nico will be P5.
I believe what...
Which means...
Yeah.
Which means that Deflated Wheat is on pole.
Deflated
I don't
Wheat on
think...
pole.
I don't remember the last time he got a pole. But something tells me it isn't very recent. I'll see if I can find out when his last pole is. And yeah, Björn, what happened to you? I mean, we caught it on stream, but straight on.
Just looking in the paddock here, Rye apparently went for a Monaco setup.
Yeah, Rai is really trying to figure out. Rai is trying to get the best of the conditions that he's expecting, so he might. Yeah, Björn, we caught it on stream, and well, of course, this game doesn't like it if you drive backwards.
Reverse backwards to try and get yourself out of the situation, but to get the screenshot, this is order.
So for qualifying, it is Deflated We on pole for the first time in forever. Codcamper P2, Alessio P3, Killian P4, Nico P5, Shermanator P6, John P7, Wouter P8, Max P9, Striker P10 on his debut, Deton in 11th, Energy in 12th, Ryan 13th, Padge in 14th, and Björn Beast getting a very unfortunate disqualification as Striker has abandoned his car in the pit lane. Good evening, Striker. As we've just seen that you have decided to abandon your car for whatever reason.
Oh, and there is the rain.
Oh wow, that is something. Oh, and we've been told that this is the full race is going to be like this.
Looks like it's Inter's condition for the whole race.
Well, that's the thing.
Like, the rain.
even though that this is completely like real life where the wets are just useless according to most drivers. So will we be seeing drivers try the wets? Will we be seeing drivers try the inters, or will the conditions fluctuate enough?
Or Striker disconnected.
Yeah, unfortunately, mate, I do not have you, so you'll have to get an invite off someone that does have you, because we did not think about that beforehand. But anyway,
this could be the first ever zero stop race.
Oh nah, zero stop in this game. Nah, this is going to be more than a zero stop.
Just going through the paddock here, IIRL Rich Energy is saying wet. This could be interesting. So maybe some drivers chancing it on the wet.
Yeah, I mean, we could see a magical. I mean, we're expecting safety cars. Yeah. Because if there is a safety car, then people will be laughing. The benefit of the fresh tyres in the wet with downforce, and who knows what we could see.
Just looking through the paddock, if Björn wins this race, it's got to be one of the best results of all time. Doing the Nico Hulkenberg challenge, that would be insane if he won last.
Oh, 100%. If he manages to do it, then you are. I mean, you're already goated in realistic open tier anyway. Like, you're already goated, so.
Yeah, Björn saying in the paddock to a fellow driver, "Nah, mate, that would be crazy."
Yeah, but if it happens, then he gets driver of the day for. I think it'll be the third time in a row. In fact,
absolute dominance.
Yeah, in fact, we'll check that. Björn got driver of the day last week. Yeah, Björn has been in every single driver of the day. The only thing that he did happen is he shared it with John in week 1, in round 1, in round 2.
Björn
he shared it.
Sorry, just to cut you off there. Björn saying to fellow driver, energy in the paddock. on the race grid, I have a wet setup, there is something possible.
Ooh. So yeah, this is where the strategy aspect's going to come in of who decided to stick on a dry setup for quali and sort themselves out for quali, but who's prepared for the rain, and how's that going to affect things when it comes to raceability. And I don't think we'll be expecting a lot of overtakes in this weather. I feel like drivers might not have the experience of being in this kind of weather. So when it comes down to it, who's going to come out on top? We have no idea. We'll be underway in about a minute's time, and at that point, for the what is this like a Louis Vuitton Grand Prix, or is
Uh,
not sponsored by the way?
Definitely not as long as Imola's one.
Yeah, we'll think of our own one. The IIRL Melbourne Water Park, in the
Uh,
county of
New South
Melbourne.
Wales.
I don't
Whatever.
know. This is
The,
where
act-
my geographical knowledge of
yeah.
Australia goes down the
the actual
toilet.
name is Formula One Louis Vuitton Australian Grand Prix.
And Melbourne County.
IIRL Formula One Australian Grand Prix. Alright, here we go. Formation lap. What are your
Uh,
views on the conditions, SOX? We've got a few drivers on the wets, I'm definitely
oh,
seeing.
it's wet, and one driver has risked it on the
Cod Camper.
intermediates. Cod Camper has decided to try it.
Could this be a Haas in a Canadian Grand Prix with the different compound tyres on? Gonna dominate at the start, we'll have to see.
Maybe. Or is this going to be as interesting as we hope? As you can see, Björn lining up at the back of the grid behind Padge. He is going to be absolutely trying his best to make his way through the field. And as Tacit said earlier, right on a Monaco setup, Monaco wing levels. So he will be having the best traction out of anyone you'd imagine. But going through the field, you have plenty of drivers who are all going to be looking for their opportunity at making their way through. As Shermanator takes the curve at the end of the chicane.
The graphic is saying wets the entire race. Top Camper might have taken a bit too much of a gamble here.
Yeah, I mean it's worth it for him. If it's worth it for him, then
Let's see if it works out. Right, it's the first car approaches the grid. Your race start for this season's Australian Grand Prix in the realistic tier.
and as they line up to the grid, the final car to the line will be the ghost car of Striker, who can you figure out if you can invite him?
I don't think I
don't know if
can.
you'll be
I
able
think I
to.
can only add people who I have on the friends list.
Oh, okay, never mind then. But anyway, as they all line up on the grid, and as the lights get underway, it is 5 red lights. And away they fly! And it's great start from Björn, as you would expect, at the back of the grid. He's made his way up one position, and Cod Camper is getting very...
3 wide.
Oh, there's a man at the wall! There's someone straight on there! It's Max! Go straight on! I think a bit of contact there. As John has made his way through on Cod Camper, we have got a yellow, which is Max.
Oh, 3 wide into the bottom of Björn and Energy and Deton.
Oh my god.
Björn offers the 10 from 15.
As Shermanator makes his way through, there's contact between Björn and Deton. This is absolute madness.
Oh!
Camper has.
What I think that's energy just bounced off a barrier.
Has he got wing damage?
I believe beyond his energy now. Max
This is
caught up to the pack.
Does Max have wing damage is what I'm trying to work out.
Yeah, he does.
And yes, Max has end plate damage. And Cod Camper's made his way through on John. Very similar move to the one that was done on Tuesday that is currently in the steward's room.
Side by side into this corner.
And Nico's having a look.
Cod Camper on the other side of the traction, but John snaps on the exit of the corner, keeps the position. That's too wide behind between Björn and Nico there. Björn getting the overtake done into 8th place.
What a crazy start of this race, and there's 28 laps to go.
Deflated Wee leading by 1.4 seconds.
And he sets the fastest lap. I mean, I would say he's broken DRS, but there isn't going to be no DRS in these conditions.
About a second gap in terms of slipstream to Killian behind.
And Alessio is following Shermanator very, very closely. And Energy is having a look around the outside of Deton, but Nico and Wuta are fighting into 4th. I think it's 4th. I've got feelings, I don't know. But in doing that, look at where Björn is right now. Björn has already made his way up to P7 after starting from the back of the grid. He is on the back of Cod Camper, who has now fallen off the back of John.
Right, Purple sector 1, sector 2 for deflated Wee. The approach is turn 11.
And he goes through. Cod Camper doesn't make it too difficult.
Oh,
and Cod Camper's gone into the back of Björn.
Oh, is that damage for Cod Camper?
Doesn't look like it. It looks like he escaped there. But Cod Camper's strategy of starting on the intermediates has not worked out for him. Ignore the voice break, please.
Deflated Wee, his 3rd fastest lap in the 3rd lap of the Grand Prix. Padge is caught up almost here. The cars ahead of him fighting intensely.
Max makes a move on wide. Right. We on. One absolute bonker start. Deton is making his way, or having a look at the side pod of Cod Camper. And we're 3 laps in. I mean, gaps.
It's safe to say right now that Cod Camper's made a bit of a strategy blunder here.
I imagine when he comes in for his first pit stop, he will be pitting onto the wet tyres, because he is falling. As Liam Lawson would know, he is fading. That's a McQueen reference for everyone who knows. And Striker makes his way through. Björn has overtaken John. Wow. I think it's safe to say that Björn is very comfortable with the conditions out there. Good evening, the Netflix of Racing. I hope you're doing very well, my friend. I'm supporting Max tonight as we get a load of fastest laps in. Björn setting the current fastest lap. But it's all starting to settle down a bit now, as I say that Energy makes his way past the McLaren of Deton. Go on, teammate.
Let's see how he does it.
Deton might be having a look back. I mean, Deton is notoriously known for running low wings, so we'll see how low they are from his onboard. As Björn has made his way past Shermanator as well. Björn is on a mission. Deton doesn't get very closer, but Deton! Oh! Deton! Oh, we caught that on board. That was absolutely scary. But Björn has made his way up to 4th position from starting from the back of the grid. I don't even know. Unfortunately, gaps are forming, but Wouter is on the back of John in the Mercedes. Björn sets another fastest lap, which was 4 tenths quicker than his previous best. So he is getting used to it.
Now to deflated wing front.
And Nico is making a move on Wouter. Bit of contact there, but nothing too serious. No one was pushed wide there. Oh, Wouter cuts in contact with the wall. He has still got an end plate though, so nothing too serious. Of course, last week these drivers had a wet qualifying, but today it's a wet race. And you're already seeing who's used to the conditions and maybe who's struggling a bit to get under, get under the weather, sure. As Deton gets the first time penalty of the race, currently, I mean, in the wet conditions, honestly, fair. Like, it was probably going to happen at some point to someone, but Deton is the first. Björn is on the back of Alessio right now. More fastest laps is... Did you see how much quicker that Björn fastest lap was to Deflated and Killian?
It was a stark contrast for sure.
It was 6 tenths quicker. Björn is flying in these conditions, and Killian has caught up to Deflated Wee. He is now within 6 to 7 tenths off the back of the Racing Bull. I mean, it doesn't look like it stopped raining as Rye has made his way past Striker, who looks to be struggling a bit in these conditions. It was Deflated Wee looking very, very naughty through the chicane. It's exactly what we want to see. But at the moment it is these two drivers, Deflated Wee and Killian, running away with it at the moment. Alessio currently 2.1 seconds behind and closing. Maybe oh, they've just caught up within 2 seconds. Maybe Deflated Wee. Oh, it's very, very snappy on exit of the final corner. Maybe that's going to allow Alessio and Björn to get within. Björn's just improved by a second on his fastest lap. But Björn is yet to make his way through on Alessio.
So it's going to be a closer battle now. It's the top 4 are closing up to each other a lot. Killian now only 2 tenths behind Deflated Wee. They battle for win.
Even then, we still have a couple of close battles. Nico is on the back of John trying to find a way through. Björn has been and is potentially going to look for a way through on Alessio anytime now, potentially into turn 1 or 3. As Nico has made his way through on John, getting the better of the traction in the better car of the Ferrari. And Björn is not close enough into 1. Deflated Wee setting a 33.6. Oh, and Cod Camper going a 10th quicker.
Finally cooking on the inters for the Hatch driver.
Maybe there is a dry line forming. It doesn't look like it. The weather doesn't look to have settled down at all.
Not a dry line forming at all. I think there is a line forming of sort, but I think it's drier. If you look at it on the onboard, especially I'm looking at Killian's here, there is a line of sorts forming now. But it's going to remain these conditions. I doubt it will really become an embedded in thing.
And Killian might be affected by the dirty air coming off Deflated Wee's car as well, which is stopping him from closing in. But at the same time, that's also allowing Alessio and Björn to catch up. Cod Camp has made his way through on Wouter.
Killian won't be feeling the worst of the dirty air due to the gap he has to Deflated Wee for the most of the corners, but he will be feeling some of it, absolutely.
Oh, and Cod Camper and John are fighting into the right-hander.
Oh,
very
perhaps
nice.
A bit squeezed there.
Yeah, all legal. He wasn't pushed onto the gravel though, so
Right,
everything fine there. Oh, Björn is the first to make a pit stop. Björn might be fighting the tyre wear. Björn might be trying a 2-stop, as John is also in, and Wouter. Now this will allow plenty of drivers to make their way through, but the two Saubers are going to double stack here. No, John's getting very unfortunate. They've gone onto the intermediates.
Oh wow, the conditions really like that.
Maybe, but I don't think John will be very happy with the Sauber mechanics. Of course, him and Björn are technically not teammates. They are just in the same car. This is one of the problems when you run a realistic race, that the quicker drivers are not teammates, but they're in the same car. As you can see, Deflated Wee, leads the race. But Deton and Padge and Max also followed the two Saubers into the pit lane. Cod Camper has gained a couple of positions now. But how is he going to fare when everyone else comes into the pits on fresh intermediates? Is he going to try a 1-stop? Because it seems like the conditions are improving based on people coming into the pits, but it doesn't look like the rain is improving. As Deflated Wee and Killian and Alessio and Nico and Shermanator, which will put Cod Camper into the lead as he started on the intermediates. As everyone comes into the pits, but Björn will come out just ahead of Killian. Wow. So Björn is on the podium. A 1-lap undercut has helped him massively.
Yeah, all the drivers switching over to inters now. Maybe Cod Camper, wherever he is, he's in first. Maybe he did make the right decision in the long term. I doubted him at the start, but I do stand corrected.
Well, you'd have to imagine that everyone else that's just pit is not going to be able to go to the end on their current set of tyres. So, when it comes to Cod Camper, he is doing a massive overcut if the conditions stay like this. He is going to be losing massive amounts of time to Deflated Wee, you'd imagine, as he has currently lost 0.3 of a second since pitting, and is currently on 4. So,
It
when
seems
it
to
comes to
be, yeah, seems to be
when it
bleeding
comes,
time.
yeah, but when it comes to when Cod Camper pits, you'd imagine maybe we'll see him in by lap 15. That he will be on the freshest tyres. Everyone else will be trying to make their way to the end of the race, maybe on this set. But Cod Camper will be there with the freshest tyres as he sets the fastest lap. But I imagine we'll see Deflated Wee come across the line and set the fastest lap. We've got yellow in sector 3, which is
Nope. Oh,
Deton.
yeah,
But
that's the fastest lap.
Björn sets the fastest lap of the race. And he is very, very confident on this set of tyres. He is sticking very, very nicely behind the rear of the Deflated Wee and is not letting dirty air affect him too much. As Energy has made his way past John, but John finds a way back through. Killian has a 3.8 second gap to Björn and a second gap to Alessio behind.
Ooh.
On teammate!
Rich Energy with the 3-second track limit warning. Penalty.
it's a 3-second warning now. You get one
Yeah.
warning every 3 seconds.
Yep, that's how it works these days. But Deton, I didn't realise he's the other penalty runner right now.
Yeah, he was the first. As Deflated Wee looking very snappy. Wuta has made his way past Shermanator. Shermanator looked to get on the gravel. Cod Camper setting a 31.3, which is very interesting. And Deflated Wee sets a 31.8, which is 0.5 of a lap quicker than Cod Camper. This is very, very interesting. Has Cod Camper played an absolute blinder of a strategy, or has he had a masterclass? Because Deflated Wee and Björn are catching. Currently 17 laps to go.
I'm going to argue in favour of Cod Camper here. The new tyres on this game are worth so much time compared to old ones. So I think overcutting at this track, if the conditions stay in this way, I think it could really help him in the long term for the rest of this race.
Or is he hoping for a safety car maybe that could help him even more? Because we haven't seen the safety car yet, which is something at least I'd expected to see. But we've not seen any of that yet. There are a couple of yellow flags here and there, but a couple of little stuff on lap 1. But apart from that, it's been a very clean race from these drivers, even with the conditions. And Björn is still sticking behind that racing bull of Deflated Wee. And currently 8 seconds between Cod Camper and Deflated Wee. As Wuta sets the fastest lap of the race, a 30.7. And he is currently running P7 with a 3.7 second gap to Nico. There's a lot of 7s in that sentence. Well, the Cod Camper is not losing as much time as now. Maybe Deflated Wee is starting to struggle on his intermediates. Maybe tyre wear is just that bad for him. Or maybe Cod Camper is maybe finding a second wind. As Alessio, Killian has to take the off ramp on the chicane. Didn't backed out there. As he backed out there again, maybe looking at a move on Alessio. I imagine that a steward's room will get a look at a view of that later. 6.6 second gap now. Deflated Wee into the 29s now. As Striker gets his first time penalty in IIRL.
Oh, he has his first penalty in IIRL. Sorry, I was trying to recreate the hype of last week.
Yeah, that's John we're talking about. John is not known for getting many time penalties, so to see him get one is a big moment.
Yeah, talk about a big moment now. Deflated, we has now got the gap down to 6.3 seconds, 6.4 seconds. Pod Camper most likely got soon. I mean, looks like the one stop for him is going to be working out. Looks like the rain's easing up though. I'm seeing some parts of the dry line forming.
Ooh, Deflated Wee almost getting into the gravel there on the exit of... I should get the track map up. I should have done that at the start.
If you look on the the helicopter ham, you can see on stream, everybody, the parts of a dry line are forming.
There's on the exit of 11 that Deflated Wee was in the gravel. Quad Camper still continuing on. Was that Deflated Wee or Björn setting the fastest lap?
That was Björn with a 29, I think, 3.
Wow. Oh, Björn making the move. Deflated Wee fighting back. Oh, Björn goes off track. Whoa. But Deflated Wee stays ahead for now. I imagine Cod Camper will be loving this, seeing that gap increase ever so slightly. Might be a saving grace for his race. Currently halfway through, Cod Camper has yet to set.
Arrived with a penalty.
And Cod Camper's yet to pit. I would love to see his tyre percentages right now, because I imagine those tyres are screaming for help.
Have a look at his tyre temperatures. Have a look.
They are cold. Nice. Will. Is it time? It is not time. Cod Camper is continuing on. What is he hoping for?
Gap
Surely
now. After the fighting behind.
Oh wow, they are still going at it. Cod Camper is going to be loving this. Cod Camper's overcut. He's done currently a 7-lap overcut on Björn. As Björn finally sends it and makes his way through. But Deflated Wee has a look around the outside, tries the switchback, and they're still side by side, but all contact between the two drivers. Deflated Wee's in the wall! Has he got wind damage?
No,
He's got away with it.
Yeah, Cod Camper sitting there with a massive grin on his face. The Sauer driver very far ahead now. He's gained a bunch of time. Deflated Wee, Björn fighting. He's going to the chicane.
He's made his way through. So Deflated Wee is still leading the way. But Björn gets a better run out of the chicane, so Björn will be looking for the move. He goes,
goes up the inside. Oh, Deflated Wee looks like he's a bit narrow there, but he's secured the line and he's got the power down.
Oh, great battling there. But this is all coming into the flavour of Cod Camper.
Oh, it'll be the ultimate trick for Deflated Wee. He's not getting good exit out of the corner. Onto the start finish straight. Björn's himself position on top, but Deflated Wee burns the battery. Björn's looking to cut the toe. Deflated Wee into turn 1.
Oh, around the outside. Oh, they're going for it. Oh, it's all very fair between the two. Deflated Wee staying on track. And he goes, oh my god, he's going for it again.
Turn 3.
Oh, bit of contact with the wall.
Narrow. Gap Cod Camper is increased by 2 seconds.
And Max has made his way through on John John. John John is struggling. Max has still got that wing damage. He didn't get it repaired. But Cod Camper is now 9.2 seconds ahead after that battling between Björn and Deflated Wee. Is Cod Camper going to try a no-stop? And yes, that was the question. Is Cod Camper going to try it? No, teammate!
Energy with another time-second penalty for track limits.
Cod Camper's not come in.
He must be thinking about a no-stop, surely.
Yeah, surely he's got to be trying it.
Alessio.
That's a very satisfying lap time.
Oh, but Wuta beats it at 28.8.
Oh, he's ruined it. That's still not too. He needed another 8 on there.
28.0 actually.
Yeah, 8.80. But Björn is now going to be looking at catching Cod Camper. Hopefully that battle didn't take all his tyre wear out the window. Cod Camper still leading the way. Gaps decreasing very quickly now. Now that Björn has dispatched the Racing Bull of Deflated Wee, is Cod Camper struggling more than you would expect?
Yeah, I can see it in the way he's driving. He's definitely struggling with the tyres now.
Yeah, it does. It looks a lot of sliding and just another one there. Is he going to get another one at the final corner? No, but he does continue on.
Yeah, after saying there's definitely a dry line has formed. Absolutely see it now.
I doubt we'll be seeing any dry running in this race. Maybe that's what Cod Camper was hoping for. Maybe there was some dry weather forecast and we're just not seeing it.
Looks like he's moved to the bit Let's tyres. Router 28.8 fastest lap.
Alessio is on the back of Deflated Wee now. That gap is currently at 5/10 of a second, or 6. And that is the closest battle on track, other than Wuta, who is on the back of Nico. But this has been an absolute crazy race. Alessio is being looked at passing Deflated Wee round the outside of 11. Will he make it stick? There's a bit of touchy.
Alright, it's turn 12,
and they're still
side by side. Now it's turn 13.
Oh, he's pushed wide. Oh, he's pushed wide. That's very unfortunate. He makes his way back through. And Cod Camper is finally in. He took those intermediates 18 laps.
Yeah, and fastest lap 28.8. Killian now joining the fight.
He's held up. Oh no, he's not. That's just like I panicked to that for nothing. But Cod Camper now has.
Oh, Nico on
Nico.
the medium. Was that a play?
No, he's actually on the mediums. Does Nico know something that we don't?
He's really struggling already.
Yeah, that does not look smart. I can already tell that he is struggling. I would not be shocked if we see Nico go round at any given point in time. I definitely think that is not a deliberate. I don't think he meant that. But he's currently running P11. as Björn leads the way, probably will be going
Yeah,
to
he's
the end of the race if he
leading
can.
time to Deton behind now.
Yeah, Deton is now going to be
Yeah,
looking at
start
making his
bit
way
of the
through.
pace. Oh, Nico
Oh,
was
he's in the
going
wall.
towards that wing damage.
Yeah, no, it's not. Nico does not have wing damage. Luckily. We saw the contact against the wall. But Nico going to have to be very cautious now. Back up to the front, Flayton Wee still on the back of Alessio and has got Killian with a second behind as well. As a yellow, it's Deton round. That's very unfortunate for Deton. I don't think he's got wing damage, so he should be able to continue on. And we do have 8 laps remaining. Cod Camper came out in P7. He's got Shermanator ahead of him, who has gone very deep. So Shermanator essentially moving out the way for Deton there. Deton, Cod Camper. Cod Camper will now be looking to catch up to the back of Wouter. We'll see how fast he can catch up to the back of Wouter. He's currently got 6.8 seconds. He's not gaining very quickly. At the moment, maybe he's waiting for his tyres to get into conditions. Nico's still out there on the mediums. Maybe that was a strategy call. Maybe he, if a safety car comes out, then he'll be laughing.
It's quite
Maybe
late
that's
in the
what he's
race
waiting
though,
for.
but Alessio fastest lap 28.6 and Ryan with another penalty.
Yeah, of course we can get safety cars until lap 27.
Dare I call it, Björn is currently first, needs to not last the first challenge. You remember how I said at the start of the race it would be a miracle. One of the best results of the season if he wins this race, which could happen tonight, folks.
And he's got a 2.5 second gap to Alessio, who was also on the podium last week. It's absolutely crazy wet weather running today. And you can kind of tell that the top 4 have kind of got their own top 5 have got their own separation, and then got Camper trying his best on those new tyres to make any sort of way through. Deton has made his way through on Nico now. As Nico gets a
3-second time penalty for track limits.
Yeah, he's struggling out there on those tyres. Alessio sets the fastest lap. Maybe he's the challenger to Björn. Shermanator comes into the pit now. Maybe he's struggling a lot. He'll be on for another set of inters. Are we going to see anyone pit? Are we going to see people try and grasp every single bit of intermediate grip out of these tyres as John makes his way through on Shermanator? John does love the challenge of being in a Sauber. Notoriously has stated plenty of times that he likes the challenge of being in a bad car, as Rai makes or attempts to move on Nico. However, Nico stays ahead somehow, still hasn't fallen off track yet, only had that slight tap with the wall, and makes his way, has a look at the dive on Nico, but Nico goes straight on, so Rai does make his way through and makes his way up to P12. As we look at we'll have a look at the position gained. We have Björn, who has gained 14 places in this race. Alessio has gained 1, Deflated Louis lost 2. Killian has stayed where he is. Wouter's up 3 positions. My teammate in 80. Energy up 5. Max up 1.
Cod Camper down 4.
Yeah, but a biggest loser is actually Nico, who pitted for the medium tyres, and Padge has made the way through on full of striker.
Also, it's going to be a closer battle now between the leading drivers, Björn and Alessio.
As we were speaking, they have now caught within the imaginary DRS closeness. As Alessio has a look at the move, and he makes his way through, and he makes it stick, but Björn is going to have a look back as Nico is coming back into the pit lane. Very unfortunate strategy call there. And Alessio and Björn, oh, and Björn stays ahead. Very, very nice racing between the two of them. I can guarantee for the last 5 laps we'll probably end up seeing more. As you can see, the other pack behind are trying their best to potentially use the battle of the top 2 to make their way through and potentially catch up. The gap is currently 3 seconds. If Alessio can launch another attack, we might see that gap fall to maybe 2.5. And as if they can keep going as Shermanator sets the fastest lap on those fresh intermediates, maybe Deflated Wee, Killian and Wouter can launch an attack on Alessio. Is Alessio going to have a look? He's definitely got lower wings, and he makes, oh, he has a look, but Björn stays ahead, and the gap is falling back down. As I'm just going to take a sip of water. Yeah, I really wish David was in this race, as Rye has decided to leave his car in ghost mode. Very unfortunate. And gap is now 2.7, as Shermanator has now passed John, as Energy is now in the pit lane.
Yeah, still a close battle between the front 2, where Cod Camper are still in 6th place.
He's not making much time up whatsoever.
Yeah, lack of inroad for him right now.
And that added tyre delta has not worked. We're gonna figure this out after the race.
Yeah, we
But
might
has
figure it
anyone
out, but
has anyone received 4 driver of the days in a row?
I'll have to look. I'll check now, I'll get back to you.
Yeah, because we've had John, who is a 4-time NA champion, as Rise AI has decided to pit, and Wouter having a look at Killian, but doesn't get the move done. Gap to Alessio is now 1.8 seconds for Deflated Wee.
In this year, Björn would extend his record as the driver with the most driver of the days.
Yeah, of course, only 2 drivers have been awarded driver of the days in realistic tier in its first conception, them being John and Björn. But if a deflated Wii can make his way through, maybe he's in for a shout.
As far as I'm aware, checking the records, he would be the first driver to ever do this.
To ever do 4 in a row or last to first?
4 in a row. Last to first, I'm presuming it has happened in the
I
last 4
would
years.
probably think so. I would think so. As Wooter gets a 3-second, and that also, as Cod Camper is now finding some pace, he's 1.8 seconds off the pace. Alessio makes a move on Björn, and he stays ahead. Björn on traction.
Deflated Wii catching up, less than a second now. It's a 3-horse fight.
Oh my god, sit up folks for these last 2 laps.
It's a 3-horse fight.
If a little bit of squirm in the back from Wooter. It's a 3-horse fight for the... But deflated Wii... Is it the back and he's going to be getting the affection of dirty air? That's a very bad final corner there for deflated Wii. He just found it so difficult in the dirty air. As Björn, I imagine, will make an attempted move into turn 3.
Yeah, pressure's on for Alessio to keep this first place if he can do it.
Oh, as we got a yellow in the back, which that's Killian. Killian's turned on ghost mode. Maybe a bit of contact with the wall there. As Max sets the fastest lap, Killian is still ghosting. There's a bit of sounding contact with the wall from somewhere. But Killian is still ghosting, which is... Killian's out of fuel! Killian's out of fuel! Oh no, Killian! So Killian is out of the fight. I didn't notice that Killian was out of fuel. I saw ghost mode, but he's out of fuel. And Cod Camper's through on Wooter. Cod Camper has got 1 lap left to gain 3 seconds. I don't think it's going to be possible unless this top 3 battle so much and cause contact with each other.
And Alessio hold on for 1 more lap.
He's got the 7/10 gap to show it. Yellow flag in the back, which is someone, but nothing too serious. Willow, Killian has run out of fuel. Willow is watching the stream from Animal Kingdom.
What a place we're watching it
And
from.
Deflated Wii is out of fuel as well!
Oh!
Deflated Wii is out of fuel! Cod Camper's on the podium!
What is going on?
No!
That promotes Cod Camper to the podium.
No way! Deflated Wii's got 10-second time penalty! No! Oh, this race is falling down the drain for Deflated Wii and Killian. They're going to live with themselves.
That is 2 drivers. Fuel issue. What I say, talking about good view, we've got a great view of Alessio. He's got the 9-10 gap to Björn behind.
As we got yellows, it's Deton.
He's not very slow in the last set.
Deton has not run out of fuel yet. But as it currently stands, Alessio is going to cross the line for his first win in IIRL.
Come on, Alessio. Come on, you got this.
Of course, there are potential of steward room stuff, but Max makes his way past Deflated Wii on no fuel. And Alessio is going to come through for his first on-track win, I think.
I believe it is, yeah. Alessio rounds the corner for his first on-track win in IIRL. Round of applause for the Aston Martin driver.
Round of applause for Alessio coming across the line and his first on-track win. Björn second.
Last to second. I've got to say that also
Cod
could be
Camper
deserving driver of the day.
And Wooter. Max with a great comeback race, I believe.
I've got to say this might be one of the best races ever. We've got Björn going. He's saying 95% he had in his rear one of his
Bloody hell.
How did you keep that on track, Björn?
Shermanator 6th, John 7th, Shermanator also getting the fast lap, Energy 8th,
95% tyres, how were you even like... How did it not pop?
P9, Killian, both of them trying
Low
low
fuel mode.
fuel.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
Killian will be crossing the line P10, even if Deton gets past because of the 3-second time penalty. Oh, but deflated we P9, Killian P10, Deton P11. Nico will cross the line after being on the mediums for a couple of laps and somehow not crashing. Rye will cross the line P13. Striker will cross the line P14, but P13 on debut. And last across the line will be Padge. He is out of fuel, unfortunately. But it's Padge. He is the Lord. He is our Lord and Saviour. And Padge can celebrate getting a point in that wet race. And it also stopped raining at the end of the race, funnily enough. So if there was any further laps, maybe there would have been the potentiality of some tries. But yeah, last and second for Björn is absolutely incredible.
Last second for Björn and the first ever win for Alessio.
Absolutely incredible scenes. That was a great race to watch. In the essence of strategy, Cod Camper trying a completely unseen strategy, starting on the intermediates in the wet weather conditions, is... I don't even know how to describe it, but that was one hell of a race. And that is the kind of chaos you can expect from realistic tier. As even though Björn has won a race... No, Alessio won the race, sorry. Even though
Björn
Björn
driver of
has
the
had
day
a
from
great
the game.
performance. Yeah, Björn gets driver of the day for the most overtakes. Fastest lap went to Sherman, but to round off the top 15, Alessio P1, Björn P2, Kokampa P3, setting out a podium. Wouter P4, Max P5, Sherman P6, John 7th, Energy 8th, Deflated Ween 9th, Killian 10th, Deton 11th, Nico 12th, Striker 13th on debut, Rye 14th, and Padge 15th.
Yeah, I would say I know it is Alessio's first ever win, but Björn also had 95% tyres, low fuel, and he went from last to second. So I don't know.
Yeah, we can discuss that, but I think Björn is definitely in a shout.
I'd say Björn
So
has to have at least, not if not joint driver of the day, the minimum.
yeah, I think it's going to be a very tough one to decide, but that is what you expect from realistic. I'm speechless after that. To be honest with you, that ending with everyone running out of fuel was so shocking. We didn't even notice the fuel modes and the fuels that people were running. But that was so much fun to watch. And next week is Japan as well. So Japan, realistic cars.
Chaos.
100%. As I am just going to confirm. Yes, next week is Japan. So on Sunday you will be joined by Deflated Wee,
And
I
me.
believe, and Tacit will be back in the commentary booth, and I'm going to try and not crash out into quali and try and regain my championship, regain some championship points on Killian and Cal. On Tuesday will be Killian, and next week you'll be joined probably by... I say probably, you're going to be joined by me and probably Tacit again.
Probably going to be there for all 3 races next week.
Perfect. Really? Wow.
I don't really want to drive Japan, to be
the no
honest.
assist. You're not planning to drive no assist Japan?
No, I'll drive no assist Belgium, though. I love that track. I think I'll sit it
Ooh.
out next week, though. I want to
Yeah,
retain my 100% Q3 rate.
yeah, of course, Belgium is a sprint race in 2 weeks' time. But so, like I said, Tacit and Deflated, we will be back 7:30 UK time on Sunday for assist here. Killian on Tuesday with Tacit for the no assist race in Japan, and me and Tacit will be back next week for Japan realistic tier. and we are currently in the process of figuring out how to do the constructors championships at the moment. So if you do have any ideas, please comment them or please write them in the Discord, because we would love to hear them and see how we can do it, because we've got maybe some programming difficulties or other ways around it. But that is it from me and Tacit. We will be back next week. Tacit, would you like to say goodbye, my friend?
It's goodbye from me. Goodbye.
And it's a goodbye from me too. See you next week.